On the road again. I can't wait to get on the road again. It seems that is my new song. Good morning to you. Good morning to you. Good morning to you. Good morning, Car Chronicles family and unity. Good morning to you. I hit that note, did not. I hit that note. Good morning to you all. Jamaica, you up so early this morning. Shelly and Dixon, how you doing? If you guys are catching me, that means that this is for you. Yeah, I'm normally in the car at 7:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, your time, all over the world. However, I am traveling. I am on my way to Atlanta, Georgia, because I and my team and my amazing husband, we get ready for Unity and we get ready for CCM, greatest worldwide convention called She Favor. Dad, She Favor 2022 is coming to you. That's right, in Atlanta, Georgia. And so we're so excited. So I'm on my way to Atlanta, Georgia to make sure all the preliminaries and everything that we have to do concerning you and our excited worldwide convention or conference or whatever you want to say. We just need you to be there. We want everybody to know that we're going to have an amazing time. I'm going to do this right here and I'll load this up on YouTube later. But I want to have a conversation with you. Can we have what? Good morning, beautiful to you. Good morning, gorgeous. You guys are gorgeous. Good morning, gorgeous. How you guys doing? And I want to even say, I thank you so much. Yesterday we were in a restaurant and there was a guy. He said, Car Chronicles. He was a man. And so my husband was there. He was like, what's up, brother? And they embraced each other. And I want to say to the men of CCM, because there are some men who love the Car Chronicles movement. Good morning to you, handsome. My husband would allow me to say that, but he's the only man that I ride for. Listen to me. I want to say thank you for being part of this movement. Tell your friends about it. Tell them to watch the lady in the car. I'm in the car, but I can't always be in the car, but the same anointing falls. So I want to say thank you. God knows we're going to be leaving to go to Atlanta, Georgia, and then I will be coming to Lancaster, Pennsylvania. I will be coming to you. And so I want you guys, if you're in the surrounding areas, I need to see you. From there, we'll be doing She Favor. From She Favor, I'll be in I think it's Sumter. I'm coming back to Sumter, California, London. Whew. I do my best to keep up with all of this. But something is coming. Something so amazing. My husband and I, we are the pastors of Unity Charlotte International, one of the best churches on the planet, and this is our truth to tell it. But something amazing is getting ready to happen, and you guys are going to be a part of it. However, I can't tell you yet. You got to stay tuned. Set your notification and follow me. I'm even on YouTube. But I want you to know that I'll load this up later. But I need this phone because I want to show you something. Well, people are on here, and if you set your notifications, then you know I'm here. But tell her, we get ready to have a conversation. Now, I have a personality, and I love to laugh. And humor is part of the things that we all hopefully can tap into times when you need it. Happy birthday to everyone that's celebrating your birthday. But I want to have a serious dialogue. So I'm going to put on some glasses because I want to show you guys something. So if you're on here, this is for you. And if you're not, just watch it later. Let's have a healthy dialogue. First Lady Platter, I want to invite you somewhere. I want to have a healthy dialogue with you. Can we do that? Hey, first. I want to have a very healthy conversation with you. And if you're on here, you need to hear this. We get ready to have a serious conversation. So, I'm getting all the laughter out. And so tell someone she's getting ready to have a serious conversation with you. With you. With you. With you. I'm going to show you something. I'm getting ready to show you something. And I don't care what people think. I don't care. I'm going to show you something. This is my other phone, my other cellular device, right? And so since I'm not playing, it's open. See, that's me and Fred. There's my sister Kenya. Dylan's in the back. So this is my other cellular device. And so I'm getting ready to open up my cellular device, right? I'm going to open it up. And what I'm getting ready to do, I'm going to my email address, right? Now, so here it is. That's my email address. I'm going to hit it. I'm hitting my email address. And so the reason why I'm doing this is because these are all of my emails. You ready? Remember, if I'm going to lead, I got to lead right. This is all of my, see, all of this is my emails. So what I'm going to do, I'm going down here where it says it's an M. You see that M? It says, you see this M right here? It says my FICO. My FICO right there. See it? It says my FICO membership service. I hope they don't pull us. I'm going to show you my credit. People say, oh, shoot. Yeah, I am. Because if they call me an influencer or a public figure and I'm leading people, I gotta be the first rule of thumb, right? So I'm going to show y'all. So I'm going to hit it. Bam. I hit it. This is mine. So I'm going to hit it. See? I hit it. So what I'm going to do is there's multiple changes to my report. This is mine. This ain't nobody else. Mine. So it says, see the changes. So I'm going to hit it. Bam. Right? Pow. Wow. Bam. See that? So what happened is I'm going to hit score right before your eyes. Bam. Bow. That's my score. See? This is my score. I hope y'all can see it. I'm not afraid. They're going to pull it, but this is mine. I'm telling on me. This is mine. See? That's my score right there. I pulled it up. I have work to do. People like, what? Wasn't the service awesome yesterday with Bishop Guns? So I'm showing y'all my score, right? I got work to do. I got work to do. Someone, why am I saying this? Yesterday, I was coming back from Philly, and I was on the airplane. And as I was on the aircraft, I watched my credit like you watch a newborn baby. Hey, Terry, hope you're doing better. And so as I was sitting next to this young man who didn't look like me, I watched my credit. I don't play with my credit. So if you want to know, how do I lease a car and how do somebody said, no, that's good credit. No, I need to be in the eights. That's my goal. So I was sitting next to this gentleman, and as I was sitting next to the gentleman, I said, before we take off, and I'm waiting for the takeoff, let me check it because something changed. So what I did is I looked at the multiple changes in my credit. Someone said, that's awesome. No, it ain't. No, it ain't. It ain't awesome yet. So what I did is I hit right there. Now, when you're in the aircraft, people are squeezing you. Mask on and everything. I'm sitting between two Caucasian gentlemen. One gentleman wanted to talk. The other one wanted to help me. I don't need help from you, and I really don't want to talk. I just finished preaching. So I'm sitting between these two gentlemen, and I pull up my credit. The one next to me that had on a Eagles jersey, he was very, very friendly. Too friendly. And he was leaning over, he was trying to talk, and I kept going like this. You can see that I was married. You can see all of the things that a married woman should do. Yeah. And so I opened it up, and I was like, man, and I hit it. He leans over, he goes, wow. Now, I'm not offended. I'm not offended. I know how to handle myself. I'm a big girl. He leans over, he goes, wow, that's your credit? I said, yes, sir, it is. He said, I don't even have that. Now, I could have took that two ways. I could have said, mind your business. I could have said, well, what's that supposed to mean? But what I did respond is, I'm still working on it, sir. Why would you tell us this? Why you got everybody up in your business? Because we're together, right? We're a unified body of believers. Because I want you to understand I got work to do just like you. So now let's have a serious dialogue. This young man was blown away. He said, you are maybe 20 points away from having impeccable 800 credit. I looked at him and I said, I'm not done yet, sir. Because I realized something. I realized this is not a plug for credit. I realized that we all have an opportunity to make ourselves better no matter what color you are. Everybody has work to do. So I'm challenging you today, make your life better by understanding not just the credit score. I want you to do 21 days, and whatever you are doing that isn't conducive to you getting yourself better, I need you to do. So here we are. I said I need 20 more points to be in impeccable credit because I need this for myself. A lot of you have not set an incentive for yourself. But what you did, you set yourself up for failure. You set yourself up for failure because you avoid those calls. You have not taken watch this, you haven't taken advantage that it's no longer like it was way back in the day. that you're in a position, God bless you, that you're in a position, what's up, Paul Reed? That you're in a position to better your living lifestyle. All you have to do is set an incentive for yourself. The incentive for yourself is, I am going to know. What you don't know could hurt you. You don't know how impeccable a score is, but how you hurt yourself by not taking the initiative to improve yourself. That's the serious conversation. You pray, you fast, you sow, you do all of those things, but what you don't do is the work associated with your faith. You've got to do the work. You've got to put the work in, my friend. And this is the conversation we have to have. How am I going to get up here and openly show you my credit score when it's supposed to be private? No, it's mine. Because I'm showing you. I just don't say something. I want you to see something. I have work to do. We all have work to do. Someone says, say that, Pastor. If I am going to lead you, then stop following if you won't do what I say. What I want you to do is understand we have all fallen short of the glory of God, but we have the ability to pick ourselves up. All the praying, all the fasting, everything that you do, even God requires you to be a willing participant in your own delivery. Some of you just need to sit down and even look at your medical bills. Look, do yourself a favor, and instead of taking that pile of mail and sticking it in the corner, go through it. You'll be surprised how many checks that you don't even know are there. Do it. Let me tell you something. I went through my insurance in State Farm, and I saw checks, unbeknownst to me, that was in my State Farm bill because I went through the mail. And some of you just keep throwing it in the corner. This is for you to check yourself. It's time to grow up and have a real conversation about what it is that you pray into the Lord for. It's time for us to have a hard look at our life and say, how can I make it better? You can make it better. Someone said so true. You could make it better by taking the things that you keep praying about and say, I'm going to do something about it, because God said, I give you the power not just to get wealth. I give you the understanding how to maintain a better health. Some of us are going through health crisis because of our finances. Some of us are going through health crisis because you simply are not doing what you're supposed to do. Man, let me tell you something. I had one health scare. When they found that 6 mm aneurysm on my head, I said, I'm cutting meat out. I don't want to see meat. I see it and I go, We was in Philly at Geno's, and I was looking at them have Philly cheesesteak, and guess who didn't have one? Me. Because I realized I love myself enough to save myself. So that's the serious conversation. Do you love yourself enough to save yourself from everything that you have to do, not what's in your spiritual life, in your natural one? Sometimes you got to sit back and look at your student loans. And you got to say, if I got a certain amount of student loans, it's just like Bishop Gooden said yesterday about student loans. Sometimes you got to look at Sally and May and say, if you got to take $20 a month out of my student loan, then do that. If I got to do loan deferment, loan forgiveness, whatever I have to do you know a lot of people aren't doing it because they don't even know? There's a post that's going around that I'm going to bring to your attention. And there's a post that says, it went viral. It said, I wish that these parents would push financial freedom down their children's necks just like they push religion. That is true. Now, here we go. I had a very smart mother, God rest her soul. And my mother knew about gentrification before gentrification or gentrification became a worldwide phenomenon or a thing. We would live, this is where we live, 450 Clinton Avenue between Gates and Green. That was my address. And we lived in a building that was what you call rent control. The building supervisors and the building people who lived there for a long time, they got together, and what they did is they got a lawyer that represented maybe 7 families in the building. And we lived in the front and the back was vacant, but they could not move us because of rent control. We had 3 bedrooms, 2 large bathrooms, a living room, a kitchen room, a dining room, and a long hallway. It was like a loft. And our rent was $134 a month. This is how I grew up. We were what you call middle class people. My father, he was the only African American working at the synagogues on Avenue U, almost down there by Coney Island. My father made $972 every Thursday, so we were considered a middle class family. This may not be everybody's segment of the message. I get it. Hang on, I'm going somewhere. Well, my mother said it. She says, we're not moving, cars, because that's what she called my father, Bishop James Young, but they called him cars. Cars, we're not moving. We're going to stay here because something is going to happen to this area. St. Joseph College was down the street. Teen Challenge was next door. And there was Pratt Institute all in the vicinities. She said, we're not going to move. We're going to stay right here and we're going to deal with the roaches. We're going to deal with the mice that we see sometime. And so even though it wasn't bad, she paid for an exterminator because she realized something was going to happen. And I don't care what happens, I'm not going to be moved. When my mother passed away, that same building, Google it now, it's worth millions. But what they gave my father for us to move blew our minds because she had a plan. Why am I saying this? I'm saying this because some of you need to get a plan. And instead of crying about your bills, get a plan. The plan that you have is sometimes you may have to live below your means. Below your means. That means it's income tax time. Y'all met my accountant. He was at the church. Adam, remember when we did Black Wealth Matters? Well, he was there. And so when you get your income taxes, instead of going to get a cheetah and a lion in bundles for $700, what you could do is you could invest in yourself. You could fix your credit, or you could come up with a plan and say, we're going to move. You might not like where we're moving, but we're going to move here until I can get my bills under control. And then once we do that, what we're going to do is we're going to relocate to where we've always wanted to go. But I will not have this debt over me any longer. Sometimes you got to get a plan. Now, when my mom passed away, man, she set us up. We all got a little something. But she also made sure she had a life insurance policy. She had whole, she had short, she had all life insurance policy. So when we found her, she had everything and we did not have to fight over what we had to divide because my mother had everything locked in a safe and she told us, if anything ever happened to me, baby, this is where you can find everything. And it was. Even when I found her body, she had a life insurance policy and papers in her hand. And so we got together as siblings, and there was not even a fight. We didn't have to do no GoFundMe account. We didn't have to do any of those things because mommy made sure that everything was in the way and everything was lined up because she realized you guys are going to be mourning one day for me. Focus on that, but you will not be fighting over this. See, she was very smart, and I thank God because she has 4 children, whether you like it or not, who are very smart. Now, this might not be your segment of the message, but do you know that you can go to your local bank? And I don't know what they're doing, but there's some banks that even me, I did this to my own children. I made them go to, I'm going to say it and I hope I don't get in trouble, but at the time when we were living in New Jersey, Wells Fargo had a program of children who were in high school that they went to the bank to learn financial literacy. And so when I'm bothering my children, I'm like, what's your credit like? What's your credit like? What's your credit like? What's your credit like? They have to pull it. I got to know. This is real conversation. We're going to preach later, but right now, let's have a serious conversation. Some of you have created your own problems. You got ghetto rich mentality. Yeah, ghetto rich kid. You wish you could lease a car, but you don't even know your credit score. Some of you right now, you may have to cut your phone bill in half. Sometimes you may not like a certain carrier, but you may have to do it for a season. What I'm saying is, let's have a serious conversation and work out a plan to better your life. Because when you go to church and you pray and you ask the Lord for something, I'm going to guarantee you He going to do it. But some of you are not even prepared for when God blesses you. You got to be mentally prepared. Because if you take the same toxic mentality and behavior, you will continue a generational curse because you don't know any better. Someone said yes. So what we got to do is we got to learn better by doing better. Now I'm going to say this. Don't get in my inbox because there's a different way we do it now. You might not like certain people that do credit, but I got a plethora of people that can fix your credit. I'm surrounded by people who tell me what to do. Now I ain't done. Watch this. The church, Unity, Charlotte International. You have no idea. Well, I'm going to tell it now. I remember that time because we do this a lot. Well, you got some churches, they got food pantries. We feed the homeless, the less fortunate. Unity Charlotte and the street team does that very well. You have churches and they give away toys for the less fortunate. We do that. You got churches and we do certain things in other countries. Yep, we did that. However, because of the pandemic, we going back to that. Follow my lead. Don't do anything until we tell you. Watch this. But do you know what Unity Charlotte International did? We fixed over 350 people's credit in the church. I ain't done yet. Hold on. Didn't cost them nothing, because the Lord tells us how to handle the people in our community. Watch this. I get a phone call and I have a meeting. And there are several people from that who are homeowners, who started businesses, who now live a better life because they didn't understand the power of a number and they get it now. And so what happened is the young lady that fixed the credit, and not just her, because I have several people, they said, you got to be kidding me. I'm going to tell you about the mind and how your mind got you in a lot of trouble. Stop blaming God. Mic drop. And so she said to me, and he said to me, you've got to be kidding. You mean the church, someone said facts. They were there. You mean the church can help people get to a better position and they can't maintain themselves? I looked at this gentleman and I looked at Shane and I said, what do you mean? The church sowed a seed on specific families' lives. Other families got it. But do you know that there were people that were complaining that they had to spend $17 a month until the score changes for the maintenance of making sure those letters go out on a consistency basis? They were complaining that after the church sowed that massive seed, the only part of the responsibility was you have to maintain it after we fix it. These ninjas had a problem. Yeah. These ninjas had a problem. Why am I saying this? The Bible that I read says, be transformed by the renewing of your mind. And if you don't renew your mind, you're always going to have a problem. If you don't renew your mind and you allow procrastination to be your power, you are always going to be powerless, numberless, and unfortunately, not in a good financial situation. There's some people right now, you don't know what to do. I had a very powerful woman, a 6-figure salary woman, sit in my house and say, I want to retire. I've done this for 37 years and I'm tired. She said, but Chill, I kept going. See, as a pastor, we have to talk to people concerning wisdom. And I said to her, if you do it now, you have life left to do something you've always wanted to do, because you gave the city of Charlotte 37 years. And she said, so what do I do now? Should I retire? Should I not? I said, let me see what you're doing now. She showed it to me. I said, girl, I would have been retired. She had a plan. Most of you need to retire, but you can't afford to. You don't have a plan. You have to get a plan. You got to get a plan with your health. You got to get a plan with your wealth. You got to get a plan about where you live. And this is a very serious conversation that no one wants to have. If you're married to someone and they don't do nothing, it makes it very difficult for you to move to the next level in life. You got to make a plan. I speak to people who have done things that I can't even mention. Do you know that you need to sit down and find out how come you can't stick to your plan? How come you can't move forward? Do you know that it is a curse for you to consistently live paycheck to paycheck? Because it means that you have developed a sense of comfortableness in the excitement of the struggle. There's some people you're excited that you live in paycheck to paycheck because you like the rush that you get. This is a real talk. Remember, we're having a real conversation. Do you think the only way that you can make money is to be a plug? The only way that you can make money is to do things illegally? No, you don't. Some of you just need to just admit that you have been bit by the bug called lazy. You can't look at other races and ask yourself, why are we at the bottom of the food chain? It's on you. You could pray and fast and lay on the floor. God will always do what he said to do. You sow a seed, I guarantee you that harvest gonna speak. I promise you it will. But what happens when you get a harvest and you're mentally not prepared to receive it? You can ruin it. You can change the trajectory of your family bloodline by one person saying, "Nah, I ain't gonna do that." You gotta set an incentive for yourself. The incentive for yourself is, by this time next year, I ain't gonna be here. If you're praying for multiple streams of income, the first thing you need to know is your passion. I'm gonna say it again. Erica just went up the timeline. How you doing with that, Erica? Erica know what I'm talking about. See, there's all kind of business owners and entrepreneurs that are on here. People think that CCM just got a bunch of broke people, but it doesn't. We got lawyers, doctors, celebrities. It's all, I got multimillionaires follows this ministry. And they got to do what they got to do for them. They ain't giving me no millions of dollars. If anybody told you that somebody has sold a couple million in my life, they are lying. The truth ain't in them and their mouth tell it. No, they have not. You have to understand that you ask God to give me multiple streams of income. I can't keep doing this. I'm tired of chasing the bag. How about God said you are the bag? But you are procrastinating what God told you to do. And you can't get mad at God because it's not coming to fruition. What are you doing? You got to sit down and you got to say, I'm going to keep on trying until this moves. I'm going to keep on trying. Never let somebody talk you out of your destiny because they're afraid that you can't do it. Mic drop. This is a serious conversation. Someone said, this is good, Pastor. I am honored to do this. I'm honored to do this. Sister Cole. Never let somebody talk you out of an opportunity that God says is rightfully yours. First thing you got to do, 1,500 people, is what is your passion? Someone said, thank you, MJ, for the wisdom. Thank you, Cynthia. Cindy, you have to understand, what is your passion? What do you like to do? Sit down today and write your passion down. And what you have to do is say, now, how can I make a profit out of this? Now, this is where you're going to have a problem. First, you have to say, can I do that? I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. What you cannot do is make a profit off of someone else's brand. That's called copyright infringement. You can go to jail for that. A woman just went up the timeline, and I'm going to call her name. Unique Creations MDK Transportation. Do you know she's a female truck driver? I know that personally. CDLs are making money over fist. Logistics is booming. Do you know right now, longshoremen are looking for people because they can't find people to deal with the masses of loads and freights because there are men right now who won't get their CDL. I looked in my travel. Remember, I go all over the world. I looked and I saw this girl and she was driving a truck. I rolled down my window. I said, go ahead, girl. Female trucks drivers. If you a female, you know what you need to do? You need to go right ahead and you need to get your CDL and drive a truck. Never let somebody talk you out of doing something that God gave you the vision for. He said, without vision, the people perish. And the reason why we are perishing is because we run from the vision that God said, you can do this. Some of you need to learn how to be a freight broker. That means you brokerage freight. You get people with CDL drivers, you get them jobs, because I learned to be a freight broker. Do you know it's a whole lot of stuff you could do? The amazing thing about having people who are my friends and people who are my family and people who are not of my color is that I learned a lot. And I think that's what happened with my mom. She had friends. She was always going. My mother was a world traveler. She loved Rome, Italy. We would come home and there was all type of art in our house. My mother loved art. And she used to always say, okay, I'm going to Rome, Italy. And even though my father didn't like it, she would go to Rome, Italy for business. And then he would turn around and he would go to Africa every year. He would go to Africa and he would do missions work. And so I had a family that was, I'm going to use the word cultured. And it's not that I think I'm better than anybody else and you ain't better than anybody else. I'm going to share my knowledge because I want the people that I lead to succeed. You can do it. You can build something great and leave a legacy. The Bible says a wise man leaves an inheritance, not just for his children, for his children's children. So it means build your business, build your brand, so your children could see. Do you know your daughter is watching how you move. Your son is watching how you move. Your grandchildren are watching how you move. That's why I'm saying, if you're a leader, you better get it together, because don't nobody want nobody to lead them that don't have the wisdom to tell the people how to get out of something. No. Leaders are supposed to lead with wisdom. And so at Unity Charlotte International, as one of the leaders, and my husband upstairs getting ready on behalf of the Gooden family, we're saying, pull your credit and fix it. Don't you buy another wig. Don't you? Some of you need to go and get some lead press on nails. Don't you spend $50 for another manicure. Fix your credit. Then when you fix your credit, it opens up your world to stuff that you never thought that you could obtain. I am asking you, and this ain't no plug for nobody that fixed credit, because I got people. If you want to know who, get in my inbox. I'll be glad to show them to you. We got one in the church, but I got another one too. I got them all around me. And if that one ain't working, I got another one for you. I am saying it's on you. Stop blaming God for your poverty. Stop blaming God for your lack of ability to move. Stop that, because God's seeds always manifest. But you got to do some of the work too. Stop this. Get an incentive for yourself. You want to know why you can't find a house? The market is moving. That means if you're an investor, you can snatch up a house. I told you about February, the interest rate was going to change. You can't even get a house. Everything is contingent and pending. Why? Because it's moving. Because people that got the score and the finances, snatching them up. And you're like, oh, no. No. Do you know that you can sit down, not with a realtor, but with a broker that could say, this is the score you need, and this is how much you got to have. You can't go purchase a property with a bad score. I could say, listen, God says that I can do all things to Christ that strengthens me. But let's be honest, you got to be a willing participant in your delivery. Let's be real. This is a serious conversation. But a broker will say, this is the score you need, but this is the finances you need. And God will give you the idea to get the finances you need for the down payment and lead you right to where you're supposed to be. But you got to do some of the work. We got to do some of the work, people. Don't nobody want to do none of the work. But everybody, Kevin Hart, I love Kevin Hart. Kevin Hart says, everybody want to be famous, but don't nobody want to put the work in. You want the cattle on 1,000 hills because God owns the cattle on 1,000 hills, but you won't do none of the work. And so now you're mad at God because, no, let's be accountable. Some of the stuff you got to do. You got to do it. Now, someone said, you saying it, listen. So in a realtor broker will say, this is your score, but this is what you got to put in. And you got to have this amount. This is where y'all have a problem with the mortgage company. Underwriters don't get me, because I got friends who are underwriters and they may pull this, but I'm going to say it anyway. Do you know when the underwriters look at your account and they see, let's just say you get ready to purchase a house for maybe, I'm just going to throw it out to $250,000 and you need $75,000 in an account. What you do is you run and you borrow it. And you say, after I close, I'll give it back. Just let them approve my mortgage. You can't do that. They want to see it sitting or accumulating in a matter of 6 months to a year. Did I just tell a secret? Yeah, I did. Because I love you. I want you to succeed. If you're buying a house for $250,000, you have to have at least $75,000 sitting in a bank. And they want to see, did you get it overnight? Did you borrow it? No. They want to know, remember the mortgage crisis? My friend Jeff was a mortgage broker, and he taught me a whole lot. And so he looked and he said, no, that's the problem. That got to be sitting there for 6 months to a year. It has to be accumulated. They go and they borrow it, and they push it in the account, and they're like, nah, hold on. So the underwriter says, nope, can't do it. Okay, somebody said, yup. Okay, those that know that what I'm saying is true, just give me a thumbs up. Because it's true. But when you have people say, OMG, everything you were speaking is definitely reality to me. Oh, well, Bridget Thompson, bless you. I really need to hear this. I'm not just a pastor that's worried about your soul. I'm worried about your natural life too. Unity Charlotte International is a church of the mind, body, and soul. Holiness and holistic health. And you have to, okay, see people saying them right. And so you have to say, I got to have a serious talk with myself. Your kids will keep you broke. Remember, Black Wealth Matter. It was net work and net worth. Your net worth will decrease your net worth by 30% because you always the watering hole. And even me, I ain't got it. You don't understand. Let me tell you something. If you knew the knowledge God has given me, right now, you might not like what I'm going to say, but I'm going to say this. If you're over 60 years old and you don't have a life insurance policy, shame on you. because everybody gonna be called here. And so what happens, your children now, your grandchildren, your family, got to do a GoFundMe account because you did not have that serious conversation. I don't care how uncomfortable it makes you, you got to talk about it. While you are living, you need a living will. Your local hospital has one, or you could create one, have it notarized, and tell an attorney, this is what happens, God forbid I leave here. Most families are fighting because you didn't have a will, you didn't have a living will, you didn't have an estate, you didn't have none of that. So now your kids are worried about how they're going to bury you. It's not right. It's not fair. It's not fair. And so these are hard conversations you got to have. You got to have these hard conversations. White folks, oh, they have them all the time. Oh, well, the Bible says, life and death lies in the... Oh, here y'all go. Life and death lies in the power of the tongue. Speak to those things that be like, you ain't going to speak death over me. No, let's be real. I'm a realist. Reality is everybody going to leave here one day. And you ain't speaking life and death over your life. You are handling your life before death comes. And so that's a hard conversation that smart people have. My mama was smart. I was at 29 Kingman Road. We was eating her last meal. We was eating cream of spinach chicken, and she wanted some Hawaiian punch. When she regurgitated it, I had to clean the last meal that we cooked off of her. Imagine how I had to go to therapy. And so she said, this is what you do. Everybody, let something happen in my family. I got a sister, and she is a therapist, and she is a professor. Won't say what college she teaches. And my sister is guaranteed, no matter what happened in the family, she knows how to get the hospital social worker. She knows how to make things happen because she has been designated the voice for the family. These are conversations y'all got to have. Do you got a life insurance policy? What happens, God forbid, something happened? What happened? And so you don't disrupt people's lives because you don't got it together. You get it together now. Someone said, Tony, if I'm talking right, just give me a smiley face, because these are conversations your pastor ain't having, but we pastors are having. Just like we have Black Wealth Matters, you got it. Now that the world has opened up, we're going to have someone come and talk to you about how to do a living will. Yeah, we are. These are things that we are giving our church for free. We're going to have somebody come and talk. Oh, yeah, Adam and them called me. They told me that people calling. If you have a policy or a settlement, you better not leave it to no pastor. No. You don't leave it to no pastor. You don't leave it to, oh, Lord, oh, leader's going to get me. No. You leave it to somebody in your family that really needs it. Not saying the pastor doesn't, but I'm saying somebody in your family needs that push. And if you can help them, and if you don't have children of your own, do that. Do that. Do you know you can defer your loans? See, these are things that people don't talk about in the church. That's why we brought Black Wealth Matters. Someone said, walk through here, Pastor. It's time out for everything that you own being on your back. And you don't have $1,000 in the bank. My friend said something so profound. He said, why is it? Because he does budgeting. And he works with, I have a friend that works with David Ramsey. And he said, if you don't have $1,000 in the bank, you should not be wearing a $1,000 bag. If you don't have $1,000 in the bank, you should not be wearing a $1,000 bag. You can take one opportunity. Let me tell you something. Yeah, I wrote a book. And I thank you for buying everything from The Death of the Angry Black Woman to a needle in a haystack and the one that's getting ready to drop. But do you know, if y'all knew what I come out of my pocket for, that ain't got nothing to do with y'all. Because I got a Fortune 500 resume, that I had wisdom and knowledge on how to execute a thing. You don't understand that you could change your life by just getting some knowledge. I told y'all, read the money code. People still ain't reading it. Read it. Jewish people know how to do everything. Jewish people, unfortunately, this is just what it is. Read it. Jewish people honor God. Jewish people, listen, I'm going to say this and I'm going to hurry up and get out of here because they're getting ready to go. The Buddhist temple ain't got a problem. The Protestants ain't got a problem. Mormons ain't got a problem. Highly Christian ain't got a problem. Jews ain't got a problem. Hindus ain't got a problem. Imams don't have a problem. But you know who got a problem? The black church. Yeah. Anything associated with the church, people got a problem. It's true. They got a problem with it. Because they don't understand that people are serving the Lord Jesus Christ Him crucified. And they ain't got to be broke. They ain't got to be busted. They ain't got to be impoverished. They don't got to... Who said this? Who said it? Who said it? Who came up with this idea? Jesus said, I come that you may have life and life more abundantly. And the life that God gave you, you just like, oh, hurry up and call my name because I'm miserable. God is worried about your mind, your body, and your soul. And He said, I'm going to give you the power to get wealth. And how do you get the power to get wealth? Read the money code. It'll tell you, God will give you an idea. Bam! It'll tell you, whoo. Because that's what God does every day. He throws wisdom and knowledge and ideas. Someone said, He throws wisdom, knowledge, and ideas at you. And He'll tell you how to get out of things. Well, that pastor up. No. All pastors ain't shady, baby. No, I'm going to stand up for all of the pastors. We all ain't shady. I don't care what y'all looking at on social media this weekend. No, we all ain't shady. You got real pastors that want people to get better. That's why we bring people like Black Wealth Matters. That's why we help you talk about credit, help fix your credit, because we realize you got to live your life. It's hard to worship God and praise God. Listen, you might not like what I'm saying, but I got a problem with people that you don't even have. Not for me. Not for me. I got a husband. I got a family. And I got wisdom. I got a problem with people. You don't have $7 in your account for yourself. You're an adult. And you, not for me. No, you'll be surprised what we don't have. And you'll be surprised what we ain't got. And you'll be surprised who ain't doing nothing but eating every day. But for you to not have $7 in your account, someone said facts. That's a problem for you. Because that means that if you have children, how do you feed them? That means if gas prices are going up, what do you do? Someone said, thank you. You got a business and you don't have $7. That's an idea. I'm not talking about for me. I'm talking about yourself. And these are hard conversations you got to have for yourself. I got to do better than this. It's for you. So if I'm telling the truth, just give thumbs up. It's for you. It's for yourself. It means that when I log off, you got to live your life. And you mean to tell me in your own account, $7 for yourself. Go somewhere. Someone said, yep. Someone said in the negative. And you work every day. Someone said, that's it. This is the conversations my mother had with us. I'm going to show you what my mother did. Gosh, I wish that y'all would have met her. My mother would say, when we got paid and we lived in her house, I first started working, I think I was 15. I was a makeup artist for Cardinal Cosmetic and Macy's. And I did makeup. That's how I learned it. Y'all think I hire a makeup artist? No, I do my makeup every day by myself. Because my mother made sure that we learned the craft. And so what she did is when we got paid and we lived in her house, she said, don't pay rent. She said, give me your check. Don't pay rent. Imagine you telling your grown children that they don't have to pay rent. My parents took care of all the bills. She said, take your rent, take your money, and give me your check. She banked it. She banked our paychecks. She banked it. And when we got our driver's license, everybody got cars. Everybody got a car. Everybody got a car because she had knowledge. And so when you got grown kids in your house, they don't even want to help you pay rent. They don't want, and all you got to do is tell them, look, I tell this to my own kids. I said, if you going to live here, don't pay no rent. Take your check and bank it. Bank it so that you can get your own apartment. Give it to me. I'm going to bank it. It's your own account. If you a parent and you said this to your child and they say, where's my money? Like Mississippi did from P-Valley, and you spent that money and you told that child you was going to help them, you wrong for that. You wrong for that. You wrong for that. Instead of giving your child a handout, give them a hand up. Give them a hand up. Sometimes, someone said, this is so awesome. I'm honored to serve. Sometimes I read this book called You Broke Because You Want to Be. You don't need no Benz. You don't need no Benz. You need a means of transportation. That means you want a decent car to get you where you got to go that won't be a gas guzzler so you can get on your feet. But everybody got this whole ghetto mentality, and it's time out. Man, I never will forget. I went to 4 Green Projects in Brooklyn. I sure did. And I went to 4 Green Projects, and it was Benz, it was Rolls Royce, it was everything. And I'm like, you got these kind of cars living in the project? It doesn't make sense. Let's do what makes sense. Make it make sense. And so I'm saying it's time for us as an African-American community to realize that black wealth matters, but your life matters. And it's time for us to stop. Your incentive is, I'm no longer living in the negative. I'm not doing that. I'm no longer living in the negative. I'm not. I'm no longer driving around uninsured. I'm not driving around uninsured, and my heart is pacing because if they run my plates, I'm gonna be in trouble. I ain't got no registration, I ain't got no license, I ain't got no insurance. It's time out for that. What am I saying? This is a serious conversation that needs to be had, and this is the one we gonna have today. You need an incentive. Someone said, that is true. I did that to my oldest son. You want your kids to get out of the house? Stop pushing them out. They're not ready. You have to give them a plan. My mother didn't push anybody out of the house unless she had a plan for them. But if they wanted to go, they had to go because some of my kids. She was like, I'm out of here. I'm going. Their dad too strict. If this is what she wanted to do, my sister was like, I'm going to college. My brother was like, I'm moving. So we all left, but she didn't throw nobody out. But she said, before you leave here, you're going to have a plan. And that was the plan. I am speaking to the parents. Stop throwing these kids out the house. They're not ready. Give them a plan. If your children are listening, tell them, listen, let's make it make sense. When you work, give me your paycheck or half of it, or give me some of it so I can put it away so that when you leave, you'll have your down payment for your own apartment. But when you throw them out and say, get out there and make it the best way you can't do that. That's not right. Because these kids are not like we were. We were different. They need help. And if you don't know how, we live in a society of Google. Google it. If you could Google everything else, Google a plan for your home. Google a plan for your life. All right, I love y'all. This is a hard, someone said, I'm no longer living in the negative. This is a hard conversation, but let's have it. This is a hard conversation, but let's have it. You do not have to live paycheck to paycheck. I follow kingdom principles. My mother, this is my mother. My mother was a serious tither. She sold everything. When I tell you she was a sower, she was. That's why the Lord taught me that. It's the law of reciprocity. It's real. Don't no other color got a problem with it but us. Yeah, we got a problem with it. We talk about it. We frown upon it. But yet and still, white folks live on it. They live on the reciprocity is what they live on it. They live on it. They live on it. Oh, sure, no problem. Oh, sure. Philanthropists, entrepreneurs, all of that. I just read where Amazon's ex-wife gave over $24 billion in philanthropy. She did it. White folks understand sewing, but black people are, nah. And we always at the bottom of the food chain. God says, I give you an idea. That idea go, whew, and you're like, oh, I didn't know I could do that. Trust God. God gave it to you. He said, I give you the power. It's a thought. How am I going to do this? How is this going to happen? How is this going to happen? What happened? How did that happen? God, when I was a little girl, God was giving me ideas when I was working at Ralph Lauren. How you going to sit and work for Ralph Lauren and his daughter Dylan be in your office every day working and you don't know how to put yourself together? Nope, I ain't got no stylist. I got Gigi. He make my clothes. And I say, Gigi, let's do this. We put our heads together and Eureka, this is what you see. I walk with people my whole life and I'll be digga doggone if I sat with them my whole life and don't know nothing. And y'all be on here every day, click, tagging, and sharing and watching and believing God for stuff that you don't even know that you have the ability to receive because you won't even sit down and let him tell you what to do. You better hear God. You better hear God. If he say go back and purchase that property, he says go back and purchase it, purchase it. He said, I'm giving the people of God a way up, a way out, and I'm creating a new way in the wilderness. Will there be a part of it? It's a hard conversation, but you better have it for yourself. You better understand that God will give you the authority to change the trajectory of your life if you trust Him. He said, I'm going to give you a thought. Listen to me now. Fix your credit. When you get your income taxes, you better fix your credit. I'm challenging my own daughter to purchase her first home by the age of 25. I'm challenging her. The reason why I can challenge her, because she will listen. Our oldest daughter she just graduated. I'm challenging every one of the kids. There are 8 kids between Fred and they get challenged every moment they're in my presence, and I will not stop. Somebody will hear, and someone will receive, and someone will see the power of knowledge that was given got them to a better position. You ain't got to live that way. I love y'all. You may not like it, but I'm the pastor that's worried about your mind, your body, and your soul. God bless you. All right. See y'all at Sheep Favor. Bye.